And speaking of apps, again here with our special guest co-host, Sidney Torres. You've got the app for the French Quarter Task Force. How many people have downloaded that since you started this?
So we have 21,000 downloads.
Wow.
And it's interesting because there's not that many people that live in the French Quarter and the businesses. So it's people that's coming in to work in the quarter and tourists. So it's a great thing. It's really helped out.
You bought a new fleet of cars. You still have people out there. How's it working these days?
So we've put a new system in place where it's paperless and they can basically run the program without having all these paper routes, and we're still in the process of implementing that, and it's going really well. I mean, they're very visible. You see them on the streets. They're proactive. They're patrolling the streets. We just bought the smart cars because of the weather. You couldn't use the Polarises all the time, and so we bought the smart cars so they can patrol all the time.
Are you on the page now with the NOPD and the mayor? And by the way, Sidney, here we're looking at the break-in of your own house from your surveillance camera. I think maybe the tipping point for you in this. Are you together? Are your guys together with our NOPD guys?
Absolutely. We're working in the district down in the French Quarter, and we work with Commander Walls, and so yes, we work together. It is a detailed setup, but I bought the cars. They're still in my name. I'm paying the insurance on them because we're trying to get them transferred over to the city. But the app is being used by the city for free. And, you know, it's something that I'm passionate about because I feel that we have to keep the French Quarter safe. All parts of the city are important, but right now with the revenue that's generated out of the French Quarter, it was so dangerous that I really felt like I had to step up and do something.
You know, though, a lot of people probably are saying, I wish he would do this in my neighborhood. Has there been any talk, any consideration that you might expand the program to other hot spots?
I would be willing to work with the other neighborhoods and the other groups to put it in other areas in the parts of the city. But, you know, it takes working with the different community leaders and working within the council districts to see if they even want to do it. You know, because you have to have the cooperation between the council people and the community leaders to want to do it. But I think it's a great program because it creates accountability, transparency, and there's follow-through. So those are the three things that, you know, you really put in place when implementing this app.
Okay, guys, if you want Sidney Torres to have his patrols in your neighborhoods, call your city council person. You know, we said this at the top of the show when the mayor said, you do it. You did, and I think a lot of people admire you for stepping up for that.
Well, I mean, I feel like, you know, the city's given so much to me, and I've done very well here in business, and I think that it's a small, you know, something I could do back, and that's why I did it, you know, because I really wanted to help.
And people are noticing on the national scale, you've got this new series on CNBC. Tell us about it.
So this new series on CNBC is really about my venture capital firm that basically goes and helps people that can't get loans in other places. So what we do is that if you're looking to renovate a home, or you have a home that you want to renovate and you can't get funding from a bank.
And we're looking also at your new Ivy Waste. Is this obviously another part of your business that CNBC must have thought, you know?
They did. I mean, look, they like the idea of entrepreneurship, and they like the idea that the Ivy Waste, I'm always creating different businesses, and they like that. But it's really about helping other people and giving them the opportunity to also be able to have their own home and renovate their own home and get in the real estate game.
So you're from here, you're passionate about the city. Got to ask you the question a lot of people are asking on the Gamut cover and just out in the street and on our Facebook page, are you going to run for mayor?
It's a big, big decision, and I think that, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not ruling it out, and I think that I want to see who steps up to the plate. I think I really would prefer for someone to get in there and support with a group of, you know, the community supporting, and not just me, but the community supporting. But I believe we need a hands-on mayor, somebody who's actually built businesses and who's actually signed the front of the paycheck, not the back of the paycheck.
Well, listen, I got to tell you, a lot of people in this town, myself included, the first time we ever voted for a non-politician, for a businessman, was Ray Nagin. Now he's sitting in the federal pen.
Yeah.
What would be the difference if we had you there?
I don't think you can even compare Ray Nagin to that as a businessman. I don't, you know, I'm not putting down Ray Nagin, but my point is that, like, Ray, the mayor, the old mayor, Ray Nagin, who's sitting in prison, never owned his own business as I know of. You know, he's never built businesses. He's never balanced a checkbook. He doesn't, you know, I know he knew how to read. He was in accounting. He did the balance sheets. But when you have to manage a payroll, when you have to take lots of risk, and it's your own money that you're putting up, you know how to run different departments. You know how to deal with different things. I know the bureaucracy is sometimes difficult when you're getting into the government side, but at the end of the day, you got to kind of stir things up sometimes to get things done.
Oh, you have.
And I do believe you have to, it's not about being politically correct, it's about being correct.
A lot of people like what you're saying. We're going to talk with you more about that coming up, and your secrets to success. And one of them was this beautiful Bahamian resort that you built that you took us to. Nice to look at that on a rainy day. And welcome back to News with a Twist. If you've just joined us, our special guest co-host tonight is Sidney Torres. Sidney, it was raining hard out there. Was it hard when you came in here to our
Yeah, I got a
studios?
little wet.
Yeah, still coming down?
Still coming down.
Well, let's go to our meteorologist, Martha Spencer, and find out how much more is on the way, how much we got. Hey, Martha. She has such great advice.
I like
her. Let's go to the Bahamas, huh?
Yeah, let's
Sidney
go.
You know, I met Sidney Torres, in 2013 when you took Twist to your resort in the Bahamas. You took us on your private jet, and then by seaplane, we arrived at the Cove, this resort that was old and kind of funky, but you had renovated it and made it beautiful. Why did you decide to leave there in the end and sell it?
And because, you know, and just like every deal, it's like I give it my all, and then it's a time to let it go. And it was one of those things. I like to build something up that's a challenge and then sell it.
Well, you're a very successful businessman. You know, very few people can say, I developed a resort in the Bahamas, or I have my own reality show, my own series on CNBC. So we want to look at what might be some of the secrets to your success. So let us know what you think. Number 5, how important is luck?
I think that's a big part of it. I think,
Really?
you know, well, yeah, because, you know, you have to work hard, you have to give it your all, and you have to be passionate about it, but luck plays a big part in it.
Okay. Education, how important is that to being a big success?
You know, I went to high school. I didn't go to college. I was dyslexic. And
Wow.
yeah, so I struggled a little bit
Oh
when
my
we talk about
gosh.
education. Yeah,
Right.
so I mean, but I think it's very important because it's more about the process, you know, starting something and finishing it.
And now you're helping kids in junior achievement. Do you ever talk to
Absolutely.
them about, you know, struggles in school, but you can still make it?
Absolutely, because sometimes, like, if you don't know, you feel like you're never going to be able to go anywhere. And it's, so I like to let people know that you can get into things and do things and become successful. You don't have to go to finish college
Right.
if you feel like you can't do it. I don't promote that. I think it's good for everyone to go to school, but if you don't, there's always some kind of something for you to get into that you can be successful if you're passionate about it.
Okay, how about this then? Connections. How important are connections in business?
I think connections, whether it's through mentors or friends or high school friends or people that know people, it's always good because it kind of gives you that first connect, you know, that first hello,
Get
how you
in the
doing,
door,
get in the door
right.
kind of thing, and then the rest is up to you to close the deal.
Well, can I just go around the city telling everybody, I'm a friend of Sidney Torres?
No, it's
and the doors
opposite,
will open?
Susan.
I don't think so. Let's see the next one. Do you have to have a lot of money? How did you get started? Were you loaded? I mean,
Well, you know, my family, my father's a lawyer, and my family was in politics in St. Bernard. But, you know, originally my grandmother co-signed a $50,000 line of credit.
Really?
And, yeah, that's how I got started. It was really, I was working for a construction company, and, you know, I could have messed that up. I remember right when I got the property and I was fixing it up and getting it ready, I immediately had it reappraised. I took her off the signature, and after that, my real estate career took off.
Wow.
So I don't say that you have to have a bunch of money to get started, but you do have to have like a mentor, someone to work with you to give you that opportunity to start.
gotcha. Number 1, how important is your reputation?
I think it's everything. I think, you know, people have to trust when you tell them you're going to do something, you do it. And, you know, your handshake and your word is your bond. I think that goes a long way.
Well, we talked to somebody today who thinks, well, this person thinks that this person knows something about what makes you successful. I'm trying not to give it away. Are you ready for a surprise?
Oh, goodness. What is it?
Okay, on the phone, here goes.
He's very loyal to his people, and he's very headstrong. If there's something that he says he's going to do or wants to do, you can bet your last dollar that it's going to happen.
Very good friend, Lenny Kravitz. We got him on the phone today. He was excited to talk about you. He really is a good friend to you.
Oh, wow.
You surprised
That's
that we got him?
amazing. Yes, because he's so busy. So it's an honor. It gives me goosebumps.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't recognize the voice at first. I was thinking,
Well,
oh.
it took me a minute, and then I heard that deep voice, and I knew it.
Well, we were trying to get him to tell us, you know, where you hang out, where we can find you, what your nicknames might be, it's like nicknames, it's Sidney and Lenny. Okay, we're not done yet. Sidney Torres, the fourth. We're going to be back with much more after the break.
Mr. Cab Driver won't stop to.
Favorite music?
Lenny Kravitz.
Well, of course, yeah, of course. Well, we just talked about Dr. Rachel, schools back in session, and you won't believe it. A lot of people don't really know when they're supposed to stop for a school bus. You know, the red sign comes out, but when do you have to stop, and what if it's approaching? Tonight at 10 o'clock on News with a Twist, we're going to be talking about when do you really have to stop? What are the rules? And we're going to tell you how many people do not know them. The answers to both on News with a Twist at 10. In the meantime, we have to say thank you so much to Sidney for being our guest co-host. And we're not quite done. Join us on Facebook. Sidney and I right now are going over to the bar, pop some champagne, and have a Facebook Live conversation. We'll see you right then.
Okay.